Howdy y'all, this is Josh from joshnjenbrown.com. You might remember me from such videos as Chugs, New PRs, and Epic Burps, and one of my personal favorites, Now Jen is Just Pissed. But what I'm here to do today is to pick a little bit. The reason I'm on here is because I want to show you a couple of the ways that I learned that were kind of cheats, I guess, when it came for a blues and blues rock guitarist to play in with some country music. Now, when I say country music in general, for me, I'm talking classic, more classic country, outlaw, Waylon, Merle Haggard, stuff like that. For as far as modern country goes, outside of Brad Paisley and crazy chicken picker stuff, you can pretty much just play rock guitar. But anyway, so here are a few tricks that I picked up to make your playing sound a little more country without having to fully learn how to play country guitar. If you've got the skill, YouTube some of these pickers on here. They're crazy, they're awesome, and if you can do that stuff, then by all means. But if you're kind of an average Joe blues rock player like me and you want to pick up some country stuff, then this is a little more probably might help you. First things first, you kind of have to move where you're playing a little bit. For example, with you're playing in A. If you're playing on a blues or blues rock song, you're more than likely going to be playing up in this box here between the 5th and 7th fret. But if you're playing country and you want to give it something that sounds more at home with that, you're not just going to be able to play some blues licks of it. So if you're playing A in country, and you're going to want to move your box down to between the 2nd and the 4th fret, so you're more in the A major area. So instead of sounding the way that original, what I just played a second ago, sounded, you're going to sound like a... And that's going to suit the country song a lot better than to play in a minor pentatonic or in a blues scale. The other thing is, you really, really do want to learn how to hybrid pick. And a lot of guys do it still in rock and roll. Jimmy Page and Billy Gibbons both do it quite a bit. But for country, it's practically necessary. And one of the things too is if you do that, what you can do is use your pick to play muted notes when you're doing a lead, and use your fingertips. If you can use all three, then that's fantastic. I use my middle finger and my ring finger, and I will pick down a muted note and then pluck upward on the notes that I'm trying to pick, and it gives that a little bit of a thump and then a twangy note. And so that's another thing. It's just the chicken pickers that do that, that's a technique that they use a lot, and this is this very, very simplified version of it. The other thing that's a huge technique that they use is to pull off onto and then hammer on from open strings. One of my I kind of worked out that sounded twangy a little bit to me, and it works, is for example on the if I'm in A, I'll play the A note up here, 7th fret, 4th string, and I'll pull off on the A note here on the 10th fret on the 2nd string, and I'll pull off and kind of work down from the 10th, 8th, 7th, and then hit the E note on the 2nd string of the 5th fret. So I have like a, and then I'll hit that muted note. And then let the open note ring. And really, since the open note rings such a short amount of time, you can kind of play it wherever. The coolest it sounds like is on the B up here, because then you're ringing that B. But anywhere it kind of works. Actually, honestly, the higher up the neck you go, the wider that gap is, and the cooler it sort of sounds. Then I also do another one. It works kind of nice in A. Luckily for us, there's a lot of A's in country music. But it's another one. I'll use the open A on the 5th string for my muted note, and I'll do a rundown from the on the 3rd string, starting with this D, or heck, you can start with this E up here if you want to get an extra note in there. And I'll do a pull off, and I can do a rundown to this A down here. So I'm just muting, I'm palm muting and making that thump. And then I'm doing a pull off on the way down and then landing on that A. Let's see. That I do a lot. The if I'm playing in A, I got my finger here on the A note, but I'll start basically on like I'm doing an E here in the middle. I'll use this B and this E, and I'll bend up with the B and then land back on that A. If you're in D, E, but anyway, those are all super simple. Guys out there that are twice as good a guitar player as I am, you can pick it up in 10 minutes. And if, hopefully that helps you out. You can find yourself a landing spot, filling in, playing with some country bands. But anyway, hope that helps. If it does, or if you got any suggestions for me, or if there's anything I can clear up for you, hit me down in the comments, and I'll be happy to talk with you. I love talking about guitar. And also, if you don't mind, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for me. I certainly do appreciate that.